Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode here of Tritoncraft. We are not in a very safe place right now. I told you guys I had put a beacon inside of one of these bastions so I could clear a lot of area out so I could get myself some good stuff. Some, gilded, that stuff in the background behind me. Oh no, oh no, ah, this is bad, this is terrible, this is the worst thing ever. Oh god, stop hitting me, stop hitting me. Yeah, unfortunately, when you're in that view mode, you can't really tell which way you're looking around. But so I built this fence here because, of course, there is a magma cube spawner down here, and just because I had this in one place and then I moved it down from where it was, and this is just kind of where it ended up being. And I'd already used TNT on the ceiling of the Nether and just kind of gotten it out of here, so I didn't feel like redoing it. But I did build this fence and this little protective platform down here. Take off. Go, 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 go. Why won't I fly? There we go. Woo! We got to get out of there. Ow! 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 Such is my life, apparently, here in the Nether. But yeah, so this is where we have been clearing out blocks wholesale, and we've still got an angry one over there. Let's get out of here and despawn him. Did I hit that? Oh, I must have hit that vine or something that was going up. We should be good now. But down here is where I have been clearing out tons and tons and tons of blackstone, because this is where this gilded stuff appears in these deposits down here. At least this is the only place that I've really found it. So I just kind of need to keep digging my way down. I don't honestly know how far down this goes, but that's why I needed to move the beacon down. I had it on the roof of that other building over there, and it was just not enough anymore, so I just kind of had to keep going. But see, you can see we're uncovering like a couple pieces per layer, sort of. The annoying thing is the Endermen they start to build up over here after like a few minutes, so you kind of gotta like fly away and get rid of them and like let them all despawn and then come back. And but yeah, I have no idea exactly how big this is going to be, but this is the only way that I really know to get gilded blackstone, unfortunately, is just by clearing large amounts of this out. But of course, we're going to be using a lot of blackstone for a lot of future builds and stuff, so it's not necessarily a bad thing to just have a lot of this stuff sitting around. But is this what we're going to be doing, the bulk of this episode? No, this is just where I started, because this is where I was the last time that I quit playing. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I was talking about the last time in the previous episode. Today, it's time to extend our nether highway. Did I take damage because of the magma, or did I take damage? I don't think I looked at one of them. I don't think so. I don't think I took damage. Yeah, see, there's so many of them after like a few minutes, you can't really avoid it. Like, it's none of them, because none of them have their mouths open or anything. Huh. It must be like, what do I have? Oh, too much junk is what I have. So yeah, we're gonna piece up out of here right like it would help if I had my rockets so I could fly away. There we go. But yeah, we need to head back over to where our nether highway is, because we are going to start working to extend. Actually, no, we need to drop off all these blocks here before we go. Hang on a minute. Okay, we are back and we are headed toward our base somewhere over here. Somewhere in this generalized direction, as it were. Actually, no, it's this direction. Bloop, this way. Over here. Let us evade all of the things. Yes. And now we gotta go this way. Wrong. Jeez, I'm terrible. I am the worst at all of this. It's like so close to here, but it's not like... Is that another area I can get to? Oh, it is. Go! Take off! God. Oh, sometimes this game just does not let you do what you want it to do. But, yeah, so let's see. So, we've still got to keep going this wise. So all these little tight spots are just annoying. Should be straight-ish in this direction now. Yep, because there's our previous thing right there. And there is our nether highway right here. So we're going to head down to this house down here. I had to ditch all my stuff. I also made myself a quick little composting thing over there, just so I could compost a lot of the, warped wart and the nether wart and stuff that I end up getting, turning it into bone meal so I can use it for stuff. But I have completely stocked up on this last time I was working on the nether highway, so it's pretty much ready to go. I just have to collect all of the things here, and then we're going to kind of get moving and get extending this bad boy out to at least probably about as far as I can go. So let me get everything in the inventory, let me get everything set here, and we will join you when we are building this bad boy up. Let me get those rockets down here too, because we're gonna need them. We're gonna need them. We're gonna need them. I should get a bow to shoot some gas. Yeah, I should, actually. All right, I'll be back in a few moments, guys. Welcome back, everybody, and we are back here in the overworld, and we are now standing in front of a much, 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 much larger ice farm. Honestly, it's a touch too big, probably, so I'm probably going to have to shorten it now, just because that's just the way, unfortunately, that this whole kind of thing works here. But as I mentioned in the previous episode, I don't necessarily think that there's a good way to really rectify the issue. I mean, aside from just I can do more ice farms like side by side with this thing. This is also like a crazy, hilariously unintentional mob farm over here right now because the light is blocking all of this over here. But yeah, we extended this down. This is now just over 70 blocks long. And basically, unfortunately, if you stand at this end and turn the flying machines on, they'll fly down to the other end, but then they'll get like outside it because it'll only load things in like 4 chunks. So then they'll get down there and then they'll actually stop loading. Also, alternatively, what I could do is I could like put a toggle switch for the flying machines like somewhere in the middle of this, because we are going to encase this in a structure at some point. So I just have to actually like do that and build that and realize that and have that become an actual thing. But yeah, I mean, this is just much smarter, at least as far as I'm concerned, in terms of actual ice, because I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys this, but you'll see as we watch this kind of go through. You can see I've also marked out where the building itself is going to go. It's going to be slightly wider than this. The collection system is going to be pretty much a large basin, although this is going to be a huge structure, so I'm not really sure how to collect items over this large of a span. We're going to figure it out. We will figure it out. So let's go ahead and flip this on. We're going to flip it back off so that way it doesn't run more than once. But now we'll just kind of pop over here into the middle. And the good thing about this is the flying machines, I mean, they still take as long as they take to do the things that they do, but now that takes them so long to come back, it gives the ice a much better chance of freezing as it kind of continues on into the distance here. And hi, how's it, hi, yeah. But yeah, these things will obviously continue down to the other end, and then they will continue to make their way out of here. And, you know, it'll just give more time. So if you wanted to run these continuously, you technically could, because you're going to see a lot of this kind of stuff. Although I'm not sure what's going on over here with this running water, why that's necessarily an issue or whatever the case may be. I don't necessarily know. Like, it shouldn't really be. Like, this should be creating source blocks here. I don't know why it's not, to be honest. There it goes. Still, though, it's still, I mean, the whole thing was frozen over a moment ago, so it's not like, I don't know what's going on with it. It's being a little bit weird, but, I mean, the good thing is that, you know, it just gives more time for more ice to freeze as the flying machines go back over, which is something you would definitely notice, you know, watching multiple passes of the flying machines as they go back through. And the basalt is what I used initially. I wanted a block that was, you know, an initial block that was going to be as easy to break away as the actual ice is. And basalt mines up really, really quickly as well, instantaneously when you've got the netherite pick like I do here. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is just a much, much better idea, and it's going to really yield the amount of ice that we kind of need for our ice road project. I've been thinking about this monstrosity lately, too, because I've been over here building and working on stuff and trying to get things finalized so I can have farms and I can have things be the efficient things that I want them to be. And unfortunately, the old melon and pumpkin farm over here is the exact opposite of that. We could see all the different things in here broken off that are just kind of sitting here and doing nothing. Honestly, I think I want to keep sort of the design of this building intact to a degree. But if I honestly rip out, like if I extend this building and make it twice as wide going down this way, or I could even extend this all the way down to the highway down there, and I could just do rows like this with these observer piston little combo dealies in here, and just have those feeding like that. I think that would be really, really cool. I think that would work really, really well. But I don't know. We're going to have to play around, and we're going to have to see exactly what our options are. This whole massive iceberg has to go, unfortunately. So I am going to check in with you guys. I've got a lot of work to do to get this thing out of here, and we're going to get this area fixed up, and we're going to get it fixed. One thing I've been doing, building the ice machine, or the automatic ice farm, was a big important thing that I wanted to do, but what I've also been doing is kind of going through. You see right here is a huge area. There's some areas where there's just icebergs that are like this, or little tiny ice formations that are just mostly below the surface. There was a couple over here as well, and there was a whole bunch of them. Either that or there were just damage areas, like you can see all these areas over here. Areas where creepers blew up and then the ice refroze below the top layer. And I want to even this out and have this be a nice flat, nice ice sheet. But in order to do that, I've got to go through and I've got to chip things away slowly but surely. So I'm going to get to work on knocking out this massive, massive chunk of ice, and I will join you guys afterward. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That took so long. Oh, that's close to my face. But you can see we have completely removed this entire iceberg that was floating back here, and it nailed us. 1 and 2 and almost 3 full shulker boxes of packed ice. Now, I did convert all the regular ice into packed ice, but I didn't convert any of the blue ice. But, I mean, for the size of that iceberg, there was actually very little blue ice in it. I've actually found much bigger deposits in smaller icebergs. It's kind of interesting the way that it distributes that amongst them. But you can see this is actually kind of just creeping over now, the plain ice sheet. And we've got to get up here. We've got to add some obsidian to the base of this. We've still got to build the building around this. I think what we're going to do is oh yeah, this is never actually going to grow properly because there's a block up there. So that ice will never grow. This is right here, so I gotta just keep that in mind, as that's where that block has to go. But I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to terraform, and we're actually going to add a small island over here that we will build down to the seafloor and do all those kind of... Did that really grow ice already? That's kind of amazing, honestly. I am not going to lie. Let's see. So we want to be over... We want to be right in line with this thing, obviously. But then we want to be... Where's the edge? Where's the edge? So it should be right here. Should be the edge. So then we want to be right there. Okay. Yeah, because that's where we want to be, is the edge of the building is going to be out, and you can see we're in line with that one as well. So there we go. That I accidentally knocked that out when we were digging the thing out anyway, so it didn't really matter. But now I'm interested to kind of see... Ooh, give me that. I'm interested to kind of see this go from the bottom, and I kind of love watching this thing, like all these layers punch down as we go through here. And everything just kind of pops down slowly but surely, and we're going to have to figure out a time we're going to have to get all this stuff out of here. And you can see the old farm where this is. I mean, some of this ice is about to actually go into the water. Right there, it's going to go into the water this time. I wonder if it'll actually push it that far, or if it won't push it any further. Nope, that's actually the extent of how far it'll push it. Okay. And all credit to Silent Whisperer on that, because, yeah, that was the height of this design is exactly what he instructed. And I think that actually works kind of perfectly for where that ends up going across. But then that'll end up coming back across and pushing down even further. And I think we're going to kind of just keep running this thing. Every time the whole thing freezes, I'll run it again until we get a nice, huge, just cube of ice that's just massive, like 70 blocks long. And I think each of these is 6 wide. So every time we get that whole thing like all the way filled up, I want to make sure we're doing everything that we can to get that. Oh, look at that. That's so awesome. I love the way the light is just blipping down through here as the pistons push the blocks down through here as well. And you can really see it where the basalt is, like as it pushes the basalt blocks down where the ice is above it. Oh, I love it. Great, great farm design. Excellent, excellent farm design from Silent Whisperer. Again, check out in the description. The link to that will be available. So we've got a ton of ice for our future projects, at least for the short term. Now, this is the only annoying thing about this is once you actually get rid of the ice, like fish start spawning up there, and then as the water freezes, they start flopping out over the sides. What I believe we're going to do top side here is we are actually going to run stairs that are on top of these, like upside down. You know what I mean? So we can show them, Nick. We can show them that. Not that fish though. We're not showing him anything because he has decided he's done with us. he's had it with our shenanigans. He doesn't want to deal with this anymore. So yeah, what I mean is, basically we're gonna do something like say right here. That block will go like right there, and then we're going to go across like so. And then this is going to still allow those water sources to remain in there. They aren't going to be affected by temperature or anything like that. Or we don't want to do that, but basically that's what we're going to do with the entire top side of this. We are going to build some kind of top across this. Obviously, we don't want to interfere with the movement of the flying machine. So we can't build anything in the central structure here, but we're going to figure out some kind of top to put on it. That should keep the fish from spawning in here so we don't have to necessarily deal with that issue. And then we just have to figure out exactly how we're going to build a structure around this. The structure, I'm thinking itself, is going to be relatively straightforward and simple. Then, like I said, we're going to build an island. It's going to be a pretty sizable island at this point. At this point, I've had to remove 2 massive, massive icebergs from this thing just to kind of make this thing look the way that it is going to look. So, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. But at the same time, like, I want to get all this ice and stuff out of here. Like, it's going to be patchy down below because wherever the farm is above it, it's not going to be able to regrow down below. Yeah, you can see kind of the speed at which the ice regrows, which is really nice. But unfortunately, you suffer a lot in the middle. The middle takes a big hit. There's sections over here in the old farm where this literally, like we saw it, where it's right above the water line now. It won't push down any further because of the way that the farm is designed. And then, did I account for I don't think I accounted for this edge of the flying machine when I placed down these blocks down here, down below to actually start. But this is going to kind of hug right against the highway. We'll probably have a quote-unquote exit from the highway over onto this thing as well. But all this, again, in the name of getting ice. We need ice, 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 ice. Is really avoiding the urge to break into some vanilla ice there. I'm so sorry. But, yeah, I just want to get something concrete kind of around this thing. Not made of concrete, most likely. Although we may introduce some different elements to this here. Because we're on the other side of the highway, I feel like maybe we can play around with the build palette just a little bit. Obviously, we want to still make a lot of prominent stone brick features because that's what the primary building palette is over there. But maybe not purple. I'm not 100% sure. Like, maybe we'll skip the purple and we'll do something else instead. I'm not 100% sure exactly what I want to do just yet. But like I said, we still need to build a building. We still need to build an island. This is going to be a little bit of a lengthy project to kind of make this fit in here and to make this look good. You know what the question I have is, does ice freeze? And I don't know this. I'm going to have to look this up probably because I'm not going to build it and then unbuild it. If you guys know, if I haven't started this yet, just let me know in the comments below. Do you know, does ice grow through glass? I don't think it does. That doesn't make sense to me that it would, because you've got a block above it, so you can't freeze it. I wouldn't think that that's the case. And honestly, I was thinking I'd go like way up in the sky and putting like a solid block to stop the ice from growing in certain places where I don't want it to. Because I think that would kind of maybe make the area look a little bit cooler, at least aesthetically. But yeah, see, this is what we're going to do all around all the edges here. Get all these stair blocks pushed in here. So this way we have this kind of nice thing, and we can put a, well, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if we can put a cap over it. That's honestly a really good point. I didn't even think of that. So we may actually not be able to put a cap over this thing after all. But even if we can, it doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world. But at the very least, we can at least put some decorative stuff in here like this, which I do think looks pretty good. Because it's going to kind of just, it almost looks like running rails. Like it's like, ugh. It's like a railing for the flying machine to fly in across. It's kind of what it's going to look like as rails. So even if we end up having to do it that way, it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of still on board with it. But yeah, this is a lot of stuff I'm going to kind of do off camera for now. I'm not really going to do much in the way of updating you guys, except for when we get certain things in place about this design. But I just wanted to let you guys, you know, see the extension of the farm. I told you guys to probably go down near the intersection, and that, of course, is where we are now. And now it's just get a very clear view of the entrance to Tommy's Castle over here. And like I said, I did spend some time cleaning up some of the ice and some of everything else over here as well. And this just annoys me. Fix that, please. There we go. And see, there's areas like this where there's, I mean, again, creepers blew up or whatever the case may be. I mean, you know, some of them are natural icebergs. And I don't want to touch anything closer to the castle because I don't know exactly what else he wants to do over here in terms of his build or anything like that. I don't know if he wants to add anything else or exactly what he wants to do. Can we reach the... I'm pretty sure we can. Yeah, we can. Nah. That was my worry right there. Yeah, we can just probably sneak in. Just barely sneak this in here without having to scaffold up from the ground. It's like a hair, like tiny little space that you have to try to stick them in there, though. But, I mean, there's no need for obsidian along the sides. You need it at the ends, so that way the flying machine doesn't push the stairs down, but you don't need them on the ends here. They're basically going here for aesthetics. And I think it'll just look cooler that way. And I could put something on the other side of it, on the bottom, so that way you don't notice the obsidian or anything like that. There's a lot of different design elements and a lot of different things I want to try to incorporate into this build yet, so it's a long way from done. But... you know, this is not something we're going to be focusing on right now. In the meantime, I've got a lot of other projects, and I think what we're going to do is there's got to be some kind of good solution I can go to for this melon and pumpkin farm, so I think we're going to take a look at that next. Welcome back, everybody, and we are hanging out inside of the melon and pumpkin farm, or what was the melon and pumpkin farm. If we look up here, we can see I have already started kind of clearing some of this out. Now, I was trying to think of a good use for this thing because I can't convert this into a workable melon and pumpkin farm, at least not one that's going to kind of produce anything. I need to set one up that's like a long farm with like some minecart rails and all sorts of stuff like that. That's not going to work, but I did have a vine farm set up over in the top of my other building over here that I still have not, you know, finished actually building yet. So I was like, you know what? Why don't we utilize this building? And I've gone through and I flipped all the switches here, so all the redstone is activated in here. All the pistons are extended. Now, I'm not actually going to remove any of the redstone resources from this. There's water in this building for, like, the crop areas and all this different nonsense. Like, I don't feel like removing any of that kind of stuff. I'm only removing this so I can put the vines in here. We may actually cover the front of this up with some blocks, and this might just be this square area inside here, because that's going to be 8 by 8 by 8 by 8. So I'm not 100% sure just yet exactly what I'm going to do. But, yeah, I figured, why don't I utilize the old melon and pumpkin farm, and let's actually get in here, and let's just rip this stuff out of here. Let's just rip the whole thing right out of here, because none of this is going to do me any good anyway. And like I said, I'm not really all that concerned about recovering the redstone resources. I guess if I ever needed to someday, like if I ever needed a ton of redstone resources... Oh boy, that was not what I had intended. I gotta take the glass out too. I kind of forgot about it. Oops. But yeah, why not just take this whole thing out of here and then turn this into a vine farm? You know, because I need some place where I can go to farm vines periodically whenever I do want them. Which means I need to create some kind of access point to this building. That's the only thing that this building does not have. We got to get down on like the base layer from the outside, wherever that ends up being, and kind of make our way inside of here. There we go. Get them out of there. And yeah, like I said, we got to rebuild the melon and pumpkin farm anyway. So there's no sense in hanging on to what we have over here. It's not doing anybody any good. So just rip the whole thing right out of here. I figured this was a really, really cool idea. So you guys will just have to let me know what you think of it, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure, because like there's redstone on top of the observers here. But if I take the redstone out, then the piston's going to... Oh, the piston won't retract. Actually, I can take the redstone out of here. I wasn't sure if I could take the redstone out from on top of the observers or not, because I don't want the pistons to, you know, do whatever. But if I can stick a block in there, because my biggest concern is vines getting caught places, because I could technically use the shape of the building the way it is like this, with the glowstone on the edges like that. Like, I would replace this dirt, like that would become probably stone brick or something like that. Yeah, that would probably become something like stone brick or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't know I was actually going to be able to remove the redstone on top of those. I just don't want to remove, like, the redstone that's outside that's got the pistons extended. Not that it really matters too much, but I just kind of want to leave that aesthetic in place. But if I can just have the vines growing down right over the front of where these observers used to be, we'll throw some stone brickage in here, or maybe we can bring some purple block in here or something of that nature, so we can kind of get some stuff working in here and show that off. I want to get back outside, though, because I want to show you guys what has become of the ice farm, because I have been diligently working to continue that thing as we go. I want to get this water out of here for now. I'm going to have to replace it eventually. Like, once this actual farm kind of gets up and running again with the vines, because I'm going to want a collection system again with the vines as well. I did think, however, that this was just going to be a great idea, so I may just replace all the glowstone on the sides here. Like, we may just continue the glowstone, I should say, down, and continue it all the way up the sides here, and then we're going to have tons of lighting and everything in here. Let me head outside and let me show you guys what we're kind of doing. Oh, and we're stuck. Okay. You know what? Let's finish getting this out of here, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing at the ice farm in just a sec. Hang on. Welcome back, everyone, and we have completed our conversion of our little farm here over into something completely different. We are now rocking this beautiful, beautiful vine farm. And I've got to figure out an entranceway to it yet. I just kind of cut out this part of it here that leads to the shore. I kind of like having this here and then, like, just putting some kind of entrance in here. I'll figure that out at some point, and we'll just kind of have a normal entrance in here. So that way you can walk in the bottom of this and you can just kind of come in here and you can harvest vines as you go. Now, I could have just stuck with, like, a central kind of design here. I could have just put, like, you know, one thing of scaffolding or something in the middle. I'm not 100% sure, but I would rather just have the nice kind of scaffold pillar all the way around the outside, and then we'll just kind of come up here, and as we go, just work our way down or work our way up, whatever, and then everything will get caught in our collection system down below, and it will end up in our item sorting system, in our item storage system, excuse me, down below, down in the bowels of the base. So yeah, this didn't take me too long, and I figured I would honestly chuck some of these purple block in here, because I haven't used purple block a lot at all, really. There's a lot of purple pillar and stuff like that all throughout the different base area, but I didn't want to use pillar necessarily, although I certainly could have, because we could have just done them, you know, horizontally like that. Get out of the water. I could have just done them horizontally like that, but I kind of just liked the idea of chucking in the blocks here. And then, like I said, we removed all the dirt and all the redstone dust that was on top of these observers, but I figured we would leave the pistons and the observers in here, even though we totally can, if for whatever reason we ever wanted to, we could totally come in here and just shut these off. And this is going to, actually, it's not even going to retract the pistons, is it? Because of the redstone being disconnected. So that's not even really going to matter anymore, I don't think. But it keeps our lights on, and I think that's kind of the cool thing. I like this kind of thing. I like leaving builds kind of as they once were. Like, it kind of reminds us of what this build maybe used to be, or whatever the case may be, when we've got the there we go, get some stone brickage in there. We may actually bring these purple blocks down right here, like so, and like so. Chucked them all back in the shulker box, but give it. Actually, let's get rid of the observer. I stuck some blue ice underneath the scaffolding, and I was kind of doing some tests just to see, like, if items do end up getting swept through that area, they end up, it looks like, no issue getting swept right underneath and then right into the water, into the collection system below. So I don't think we'll have any issues as far as any of that is concerned. This is going to be covered ostensibly with some kind of stairs. Same thing with this. So that's why those are like that. Honestly, this will probably come out of here as well, and I'll probably put some kind of slab in here. But you can see this is the water. This used to hydrate the all the melon and the pumpkin plants and everything right there. But obviously we don't need that anymore. There's not really any sense of kind of keeping that in there. So yeah, let's boop, and boop, boop. And I decided with the lights and everything, of course we have our water stream underneath here, underneath where the light pillar comes down. But I just decided instead, you know, to leave in these pieces of the Chizzy stone bricks here. I decided to leave those in. Those are kind of a visual tie to the exterior of the building, which of course is largely stone brick and purple pillar. And yeah, this will be kind of nice. And I just, for whatever reason, I stuck them there too. I don't know why. We'll see. I mean, if it just gets me more vines, it doesn't really matter. That's kind of the real point of it. Is like if this gets me more vines, then we'll just kind of, you know, come through here as we go and bloop, pop those off of there, and then we'll have more vines even. But I kind of like the idea of just having, you know, lots of different vines all growing down in the system here. And then there's nothing that they can get caught on going down. I wonder if all the pistons are like that. I would imagine they are, because I took out a decent chunk of the redstone. Like I said, that was all on top of all of the different things here. Yeah, I just got to figure out this entrance here, and then we should be solid gold. But this is pretty much done. We have repurposed this farm, and we have turned it into something actually useful. And now we have to figure out a better solution for a melon and pumpkin farm, which I'm not 100% sure where that's going to go. I'm thinking maybe right in here somewhere. Maybe. Because I kind of want it close by the base in case I want to AFK over here, so that way we're AFKing and we're getting... It's bad enough, like, the way that Bedrock is like, not everything loads at the same time. Like, I wonder if my ice farm, because I haven't really been over here, I wonder... Okay, nope, both ice tracks are definitely good to go. Okay. Well, let's actually flip this on right quick. And let's go ahead and send this down. And we don't want it to repeat again, so we're just going to... Did that turn? No, it didn't. You can see the piston is extended down there, and now it's not. But yeah, I love this thing. This thing is amazing. And now that we have the switch right here in the middle, we don't have to worry about basically anything. Although I haven't harvested this ice in a hot minute, so I'm actually sure that this is probably ready to be harvested. One other thing that I wanted to try to think of with the ice farm here, and there's a reason why I have like all these honey blocks. I was doing a ton of bee breeding, and I was doing a ton of work. Apparently, so I'm going to show you guys something interesting as soon as these flying machines get back to their docks here. But basically, there seems to be, I don't know if this is a visual issue or if this is a bug or if they did this on purpose. I really have no idea, because I don't really pay much attention to a lot of kind of stuff that they do when it comes to Minecraft. Like, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to anything. But apparently hives and beehives and bee nests are backwards now. Like, when you hang them up, you have to be facing, like, away. Like, you kind of place them like you place observers. Like, I don't know why you would place it down and, like, the opening wouldn't be facing towards you, but it faces away from you when you place it down now. All right, so these should stop right about... Perfect. All right, so, yeah, let's get out of here, and let me go show you guys what I mean, because I had to fix all of these over here on our little bee island down here. I also, you know, like I said, I was doing a ton of bee breeding and everything, but yeah, if you just place this normally, like if I just break this and I place this here normally, the entrance will actually be facing toward the back here, and I don't know why that's a thing. But then you look at all these bees, they're all coming out the back of the hives. Like, because when they were babies, before they grew up, they kept getting stuck right here inside of where the fence post is here. So I don't 100% know why that's a thing either. I don't know, like I said, if that's meant to be like a visual thing or if that's actually intentional, like they changed it that way on purpose. I don't know. But yeah, we've got some, you know, bee nests up there in the thing. We got some different hives hanging over here and then over here, but I had to replace all of those things and fix all of them. One other thing that I did here, because I have been AFKing over here trying to grow vines so I can get more vines for different, to make mossy stone brick and stuff. You got an egg. Did we get a chicken? No. So basically I came down here and we actually added, oh, I forgot to take these out of here. We can take these out of here, but I added a shulker box. You can see a shulker box of each color in here underneath all of the wool. And we may actually end up replacing the other one as well once we build up even more wool in here, because, I mean, we've got a whole ton of it in there. And honestly, like, I could just go through here and I could just place in shulker boxes, like 3 shulker boxes of every color. And then if you just want wool, you just come in here and grab one of the shulker boxes. I could switch this up as well, where, you know, these hoppers could come and point backwards into another hopper that goes down. And then I could have a hopper chain go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. That may be something I do, but we're kind of not... I still haven't built the iron farm, basically, is kind of the problem. I haven't built the iron farm, so we don't really have the iron to realize that many hoppers right now, because that's going to be, what, 16... So 48 hoppers I would need. Like, for each, you know, for the whole thing, I'd need 48 hoppers. Like, that's a lot of iron. So at least probably, like 3.5, 4 stacks, give or take, because what's 5 iron per hopper... Yeah, I mean, it adds up really, really quick. So it would take quite a lot of materials for me to be able to put that together, and I just don't have those materials right now. But yeah, this is, again, another build completely finished. This thing will grow down, and we will be able to harvest some vines so we can continue making our mossy bricks and things like that. We also do have a lot of vines growing on some of these other buildings. Buildings like this one here, which I may want to, at some point, get some string and kind of control the height of those. I know there's different, especially like the vines growing off of the tree. We've got a lot of string over by the tree. You can see that here. It really sticks out in this resource pack, or in this texture pack, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, there's just, I've been just working, getting a whole ton of different little things done. And then when I'm off camera, usually, I mean, I've been building the ice farm lately, but a lot of what I've been doing off camera is I'm working on the grind of working and finishing the tunnel, which is just, you know, another one of those kind of things where it's going to take a lot more work to finish that tunnel and to realize that tunnel. But one of the things we needed was ice. So this is why we needed to build the ice farm. And now we kind of just need this thing to tie in visually and not just be a big square, you know, rectangular building that's just kind of boring. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to add some purple pillar accents, kind of like some of those other buildings in there. Get something, just a little bit of an accent, a little bit more depth going through the building here. Cover up these carpets and things on the roof. I wish I could cover up the actual ice tracks, but there's no way to do that. There's nothing we can put in there. And, oh yeah, that's right, I was going to tell you guys. So, I had planned, maybe. Now, in Bedrock Edition, there are very few blocks that are immovable by slime blocks. And so in order for the flying machines to go down through, the slime blocks can't catch on anything. That's why this is hollow right now. Now, I can, if I want to, put honey blocks in here. So that way it would at least fill the space. Now, no mobs can spawn in here. This is only 1 block high. So nothing's going to spawn in here necessarily. And even if something did spawn in there, it wouldn't really do anything. But, I mean, I guess the real question is, do I even waste the time? Because we're talking like 160 honey blocks just on that level, and then this level up here can be something completely different. I don't have to have this open like this. I believe, I don't know, I got to think of something that I can put over this section up here, but I'm not sure exactly what yet. Because I'm not sure, like, if I put a trapdoor over this redstone line in here, like, is that going to mess up the ice growing down here? Like, is that going to count as, well, I mean, a trapdoor doesn't technically, but is the game going to see it that way? Like, there's a lot of different considerations that I kind of have to figure out. Delicious. Yeah, we have to finish doing our villagers over at the volcano. I've kind of gotten a lot of work done with them lately. I did get rid of a whole bunch of villagers over there, and we have replaced a bunch of them with golden carrot villagers, which, I mean, the sad thing is I need to get them cured. I need to get them zombified and cured, which means I need to come over here at night, slap them in a boat, and then, you know, maybe just let one of them outside, or I don't know, something. I gotta think of something that I can do, or I can protect whatever. We also have a ton of bees over here. I had to do the same thing with these here. And there's another issue that I've been noticing as well, and I don't know, again, if this is supposed to be a bug or whatever the case may be, but when I have those hoppers here, and then I hit the automatic harvest button, all the bottles, like half of them don't go into the hoppers, and I don't know why that is. Again, this is something that worked perfectly fine until 1.16. So I don't know if this is a bug that they did something and broke it whenever they implemented these into 1.16, or implemented the other changes, I should say. I have no idea exactly what the case is, but it's really, really kind of frustrating. And we have our outline of all of our volcano. This is where our volcano is going to go. Someday I want to get that built over here. I don't know necessarily when. I want to finish up the rest of the projects we've got going on over here, including this, including the kelp farms. We need to get something else over there in terms of, we go down into this over here. We may try to use some portion of this or maybe not. I don't know, to do a melon and pumpkin farm. But if I do, the space over here, I mean, I guess it doesn't, I don't know. I got to look up and I got to see what different farm designs there are, because the whole reason why I have to build it differently in Bedrock was because they don't grow. Like, you can't use an observer to detect a change in the vine. You have to use an observer to detect the block actually appearing on the dirt block next to where the vine is. Like in Java Edition, you can just detect the growth, the change in the growth stage of the vine, like when it moves to place the melon or pumpkin. Then the game is like, oh, okay, so it automatically fires it, so you can build way more efficient melon and pumpkin farms that way. Like, the design that I had over here is fine, necessarily. Like, I know it works. Like, you just have the observer facing down, and all you have to do is just, point the observer down at the dirt patch and then, fire off some pistons as soon as that happens. But what the basic thing is I need a new collection system. And that's going to have to be minecart rails or hoppers right underneath. I mean, I could do like hopper chains and stuff like that too. I don't necessarily know what the best option is going to be just yet. We're going to kind of play that by ear and figure out exactly what the best option is. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for another episode here of Tritoncraft. I know I was supposed to build another highway. I was totally supposed to build another highway, and guess what? I didn't do any of. Literally any of it, because I got back to the overworld and I was like, I've got so many things to do over here. But we've got a ton of stuff done. Our ice farm is massively expanded. We are finishing up big time with that. We changed out our melon and pumpkin farm, and I think in the next episode, or one of the next episodes, sometime very soon, we are going to be working on a new design for a melon and pumpkin farm. I don't know, like I said, exactly where it's going to go. Probably right in the space behind me, right over there by that corner of the highway. I'd like the kind of idea of keeping everything sort of centralized in this area over here. But yeah, in the meantime, if you have not already, please make sure you smack that subscribe button. And if you're so inclined, ring the bell. And that way you'll get notified whenever I drop new content. Thank you so much, everybody out there, for watching, for all of your amazing support. And I hope that you have an absolutely amazing week. Bye.